Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to solve our next HackerRank question, write a function. This is the question title, medium level question it is. So let's read the question. Write a function to check if the given year is leap or not. So before we dive inside this question, let's understand what is the meaning of this leap year and how we can check whether the year is leap year or not. Okay. So these are the rules of leap year. If a year is not a century year, not a century year means a year which is not divisible by 100, guys. Okay. Century years are divisible by 100. Okay. Or not ending with 00. So if a year is not a century year and it is divisible by 4, then it is leap year. Plus, if a year is century year, if the year is century year and it is divisible by 400, then it is leap year. So basically, very simple rule we have. I will repeat. All years are leap years if they are divisible by 4 except century years. Okay, you can take any year that's okay. Let's say I will take this year. Okay. If you want to check this year is leap year or not, you have to just make sure this should be completely divisible by 4. Okay, then it is leap year. But the rule is different when we are dealing with the century years, guys. If the century years are divisible by 4, then we cannot call it as a leap year. Okay. So any non-century year, see here, if the year is not century year and then it is divisible by 4, then only it is leap year. But if it is century year, it is not a leap year. If it is century year, then it is not leap year unless and until it is divisible by 400. So century years can be called as leap years only and only if they are divisible by 400. Otherwise, century years are not leap years. So two cases you need to understand here. Okay. One is a century year and another is non-century year. Okay. Century years means the years which ends with 00 you can consider. So century years can be called as leap year if they are completely divisible by 400. Otherwise, century years are not leap year. If non-century years are completely divisible by 4, then they are called as leap year. Okay. So here we will write if century year divisible by 400 and here non-century year, or directly I can write it like this. Okay. Okay. So these two rules you need to understand. Basic rules. If the century year divisible by 400, if it is equal to 0, then yes, it is a leap year. Yes, it is a leap year. Okay. If a non-century year is divisible by 4 and if it is equal to 0, then also yes, it is a leap year. Okay. So both are leap years. But any other year which is not divisible by 4 also, not divisible by 400 also, then it is not an leap year. Okay. So these two conditions we have to check it out. So let's write the code for this. I will open this. Okay. So we will write the logic here. Already we are accepting the year from the input. We are calling the function. We are passing that year. This will print either true or false. Let's type the code first here in VS Code, okay, to understand the output. So I will erase these rules. So I will create one function. Let's say the function name is check year, which will accept one year as a parameter, okay. So the first rule, if whatever is there in year, modulus of 4, if it is equal to 0 and if year modulus of 100, if it is not equal to 0, then it is leap year. Or one more condition. What is the condition? If year modulus of 400, if it is equal to 0, then also it is a leap year. Okay. So I guess I missed the bracket over here. So on the next line, we will just write print. We no need to write print. We have to return true or false, right? So we will return true. Okay, we will return true. Else, I will be writing here return false. Return false. So if the year mod of 4, if it is equal to 0, and year mod of 100, if it is not equal to 0, then it is leap year. Or if year mod of 400 is equal to 0, then it is leap year. Okay, because if the year is mod of 400, by default it will be completely divisible by 100, guys. So if century years are divisible by 400, they are leap years. If non-century year is there, see, this is called as non-century year. If it is divisible by 4, then return true. Okay. So now we will call this particular function check year. Okay. So we will accept the input from the user first. Okay. So year is equal to integer input. User will enter the year over here and we will pass that year as an argument to this function. So let's run the code and we'll check the output. Okay, it is asking to enter the year. So sample input which they have given is 1990. So it should return false, correct? So I will enter 1990, enter. I guess we have not printed C. It is returning some value, but are you printing that value? No, right? So we will print whatever the function is returning. Okay. So again, I will save the code. We'll execute it. I will enter 1990, enter C. It is returning false. This is what we want, correct? So this is our final logic, guys. So I'll just copy this logic as it is. Okay. And we'll paste it here. Okay. We have to adjust indentation little bit. That's all. Is there any changes? Check. Input we are accepting. Here we are passing over here. We are checking the condition, return true or false. That's all. So we'll run the code. Yeah, done. Okay, we'll submit the code. So this is the final answer of our question. Thank you everyone. We'll see you in the next video.